training camp starts a week from yesterday, a week from Thursday. When you look at how this kind of plays out, is this offense with Ken Dorsey, is it going to look, and we keep hearing, and Mary Kay keeps alluding to it, is it going to look like what Deshaun Watson played with with Jim O'Brien in Houston? Is that kind of the vibe that you're getting from it?
I'm actually different. I don't think it'll be as different as everybody thinks. And the reason why is because if you go back and watch that 2020 film, and I watched every throw of that year many, many times. And one thing is that year the Texans were 4-12. They were really, really poor and epically poor, incredibly poor on defense. So that forced them to throw the ball, that forced them to be an empty, forced them to try to make up. Football is still a team game. And if you look at like CJ Stroud last year in the playoffs, you have to make the throws when they're presented to you. You have to make the runs when they're presented to you in big times. So, no, I don't think what I see more with Dorsey is I see more pre snap movement. I see the Browns not being stuck in place sometimes, a lot of RPOs, and not RPOs necessarily we're automatically going to pass, but just run game. Dorsey, in my opinion, they're never in a bad play. So a quarterback can check the run either way. He can check to a pass if he needs to. There's always a built-in RPO on almost all of his passes. So no, I do see them being in more 11 personnel. But Kevin Stefanski, it's his job, and it's his job on the line. So they're still going to run counter. They're still going to run pin and pull. They're still going to, but what they're going to do, they're going to have options with that. So if they're going to run a counter and there's 7 guys in the box, Dorsey's going to give Watson the ability to throw the ball and not run into a loaded box. So I don't see the schemes being different. I see the options off the scheme being more diversified moving forward.
So you're allowing, in theory, Watson to figure out if there's a matchup that they want to exploit.
Exactly. So you run, instead of just saying you're getting a formation run, pin and pull to the right, you're saying we're going to get in a formation run, pin and pull to the right. If they give us something to Elijah Moore or Amari Cooper or Tillman or Judy, and they give us something we like, Njoku, they're going to have that built in on the backside or front side. So they're going to be reading backers on the second level. Our safety's going to get nosy, then he'll take a shot over top. But the actual run game, the only thing I see really different is they'd like to run tackle trap a little bit more, but it's still a gap scheme. Kevin Stefanski's very diverse in his run game, gap schemes, zone schemes, inside, outside zone, pin and pull, counter, power. He does all those things. They all do. But I think the window dressing, the pre-snap motion, and I think the availability to get out of a bad play or have a option if somebody's not covering or doing what they're supposed to defensively, that's what I see differently. But when they hand the ball off, it'll look very similar in my opinion.